Revolution through fashion. Yeah. With Americans' human rights threatened and disrespected every day, I thought to myself that I needed to do more when it comes to showing people how important it is for us to come together to fight our oppressors. And fashion is the only way that makes sense for me. Revolutionaries for centuries have used fashion to stand up against oppression and conformity. These fashion statements show solidarity in one's political ideologies. Think of the unfortunate MAGA hats or wearing shirts that show American pride. Or in women's fashion, the move to cottagecore aesthetics with milk-maid peasant dresses, trying to be the trad wife, or the quiet luxury fashion with basics that look expensive with a posh sweater around the neck. And now is the perfect time to bring back some of the symbolic fashion styles and accessories that prove once again we stand united. Today, I'm going to be sewing and talking about the beret. Beret-like hats have existed since the Bronze Age, where the flat floppy hat is depicted in tombs in Denmark, Italy, and Western Europe. The hats were made from wool felt. Felt is, think about brushing a ball of yarn, and those loose fibers are pressed together with water, and when it dries, it creates a very durable, weather-resistant fabric. Because of its cheap, resilient fabric, in the 15 and 1600s, the hat became very popular with European farmers and artists who were working outside. Starting in the 1800s, the beret became a political statement, and revolutionaries and military people started wearing berets. Today, within military spaces, we can still see the beret in a variation of colors that are used to signify rank and authority. The 1900s are when the black beret specifically became more than just a peasant hat. It became a fashion staple for city people in France. And so during World War II, berets were everywhere. This allowed French revolutionaries to use them in an inconspicuous way to unite and get rid of the Nazi force in France. I'm Black, so I'm going to dive into this a bit more. I find it really interesting when I was researching the fashion for the Civil Rights Movement, which happened in 1954 through 1968, and the fashion statements of the Black Panther Party from 1966 to the 1980s, and how different they were. And you could see that in the way that they dressed. The Civil Rights Movement really cared about respectability politics to show their oppressor, like, hey, we're human too. Versus the Black Panther Party, where they said, ignore conformity, ignore white America, ignore the rules. We are Black, we are proud, and that's why you see the afro, the berets that represent the revolution, and an overall different style that showed how proud they were to be who they are. Seen in my thumbnail, the berets have been worn by French revolutionaries, the Black Panther Party, the Brown Berets, the Young Lords, and Cuban revolutionaries. The beret has become a symbolic accessory to revolutionaries for centuries. In 2026, we have the power to get creative with the ways we represent our intersectionalities. With access to the internet and free public libraries with an immense amount of information, you too can start representing the colors of your identity with pride. You don't need any fancy equipment or special fabric to make berets that represent your voice in the revolution. All the fabric I use in this video is secondhand. Needle and thread is at the Dollar Tree. That is why my hat is black. representing the Black is Beautiful movement of the 1960s, lavender to represent my queerness, and white to represent the Alpha Suffrage Club created in 1913. This was the first organization for Black women's suffrage, signifying moral strength and recognition against systemic racism. Uniforms and accessories are important to movements because they show a group's unity and message. Think of the black fist for the Black Lives Matter movement, the red handprint for the missing and murdered Indigenous women movement, the suffragists wearing white, purple, and green for women's rights. And think of the many more movements that all have fashion signifiers that show who they are and what they support. Fashion is political. As a society, we have been helpless for far too long. We have everything we need right in front of our faces. It's time to do something because we see now that no one but us can save us. So, that brings me to the end of this video. In my bio will be a link to the beret pattern I use in the video tutorial I followed. There will also be links to the articles I read for the research of this video, and links to sign petitions and donate to causes. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you learned something and got inspired. Remember that change happens with consistency. You don't have to have it all figured out right now, but with small movement comes the avalanche. Thank you.